Hey, we are live. Welcome to Break Through Walls. I'm Ken Walls. Hey, I appreciate you guys hopping on here, checking this out. I've got a good friend of mine with us today, all the way from the UK. His name is David Pariera. I'm going to bring David in right now. David, welcome to the show, mate.
Hello, mate.
Can you say something like, do you want that shaken or stirred?
Shaken or stirred? No, because if there's any ladies on, they're going to get a bit, woo.
So how's it going, dude?
I'm good. Hey, believe it or not, it's warm over here. It's really hot.
Really?
Yeah, hot. It's like 28 degrees, which is, I don't know what that is in your language. we had this before. You have to ask Alexa.
That sounds hot. So no, I think that's like that's like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe.
I think so.
So first off, thank you for jumping on. Oh! I'm trying to open it up. I appreciate you jumping on, bro. I know you're a busy guy. Busy guy. Laura Peterson just said it's 82.4 degrees, mate. That's warm. That's not hot.
Yeah, but it's warm for a country that isn't made to be like that.
An island.
Dude, we have like insulation in our houses. You guys have just got wood.
You're crazy. Dude, so you know, I appreciate you jumping on. I'm using this show to I mean, people get stuck in life, and you know, I want to help people have a breakthrough, come through whatever they're stuck in, and you know, you are one of those guys. You know, you've been stuck, but let's back up for a minute and talk about where you were born and raised. Where did it all begin for David Pariera?
Dude, so I was born out of my mother and I raised out of the crib. No, I'm only joking. Wow. So I was born here in the UK, but then I grew up in the West Indies, in Jamaica. That's where my mother's from.
Okay.
It's really complicated because people think that I'm like from like East Indies. I'm from the West Indies. So I grew up with my grandparents there for a bit and then came back to the UK. I did my first year of school in Jamaica. Believe it or not, I had a Jamaican accent, man.
Really?
Yeah, now I sound like James Bond. And then obviously I went to school here, but I've been back to Jamaica about 18 times.
Yeah.
I used to go back for 6 weeks every year, me and my older brother.
Is that where your grandparents still live there?
Yeah, man, both of them.
Nice.
So my granddad's. I need to move back there, man. My granddad's like in his 70s and he's got little babies running around everywhere.
What?
Yeah. Not with my grandmother, obviously. Her womb can't take it anymore. Like other women. It's a Jamaican thing.
It's a Jamaican thing. Wow, dude. Wow. So you lived in Jamaica. That's interesting. I have a friend that's an optometrist that has six locations in Jamaica.
Wow.
I didn't think Jamaica was that big. I figured one clinic would be enough.
No, dude, it's like, I don't know, the size of your neighborhood.
Yeah.
You guys have got like 6 In-N-Out burgers in a 3-mile radius.
Oh, wow. So you lived in Jamaica, but I mean, most of your life you've been in the UK, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So from, you know, I know, and dude, I know you very, very well. I don't think my audience does. Eric Cornelius says his accent is sexy.
Is that dude? No, man. Hey, which part did he miss about me being from Jamaica?
That's funny. But the So, dude. Anyway, so I know you're an unbelievable salesperson. I know you have a great business going over in the UK right now, but let's kind of back up and start with. I believe that something happens. There's always a person or a moment in our childhood that kind of defines or helps us become what we become as adults. And I'm always curious to know, like, was there a moment in your childhood or someone in your childhood that pushed you, that made you, become the person that you are today, that helped define that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, growing up, both of my parents, I've never ever seen them work for anybody. They've always had their own business or their own company. So I just grew up thinking that was normal. My older brother, he has his own company, and I've obviously seen that you can't, like growing up seeing friends whose parents worked for companies not really having much, and then my parents having a lot more. I kind of figured out very young that, well, the only way to make real money is to go and get it yourself.
Right.
It's kind of ingrained in me from a young age without having to be told to me, because I lived it.
Right. So where did you, I mean, you obviously at some point, did you go to college?
Kind of. I messed about at college. I kind of thought college was where you pick up girls.
Did that work for you?
No.
No. So at some point though, you got into sales, right?
Yeah, I mean, I figured, I can't remember what made me do it, but I kind of figured, I mean, growing up, I was always good with people. I kind of felt a bit more grown up than I was at a young age. And because I didn't really have big qualifications to become a friggin' doctor or an architect or something that people think is important, I just applied for a sales job. And my first ever sales job was signing people up for credit cards. So, and this is like in shopping centres, airports, train stations. So, and we had to sign up 18 people a day before we could go home.
Wow.
I used to do like between 25 to 30 people a day.
Wow.
And it was, I just quit, and that's where I learned to close, because you think about it, people are busy, they're doing their shopping, and you've got to call them over and sell them a credit card, grab all of their personal details, phone the application through, get them approved, give them a temporary card, and there you go. And you've got to do that 18 times a day minimum. So,
wow.
That's where I first learned about rejection. Right?
Right.
Yeah, no, not interested. I had people be rude to me. But I just figured out, that's when I figured out, well, you just got to get lots of no's, and the yeses will happen, man.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing with girls, isn't it?
Huh?
No, and then all of a sudden you've got a kid.
Oh, jeez. You have an absolutely amazingly beautiful wife and a beautiful little girl as well. So you're a blessed man. There she is. She's a beauty.
That's the daughter of the wife.
Where's the picture of your wife, Sherry?
I don't really have any like sharing friendly ones. No, I mean,
oh, jeez. Wow. So you started in sales. Did you ever, like, after getting into sales, did you do anything else? I mean, did you ever work at McDonald's?
No, man, forget that. That not being, no offense to anybody that works at McDonald's, but dude, I'm gonna work. I wasn't brought into this world to like flip burgers and ask people what their order is. No, man, like I just knew that the time that it would take me to earn minimum wage, like a couple of pounds per hour, I could have invested that time into something where I could make lots of money. So I kind of see those kind of jobs as, well, if you look at the word job, I always say to people it stands for just over broke.
Right.
Because if you think about it, by the time you take out your rent, your mortgage, your bills, your beer money, your hooker money, you've got no money left, man. You're in debt. So I kind of figured, well, I'm not going to take a job.
Right. So you're from the school of writing your own paycheck.
Yeah, man. I've never worked for a company like.
Yeah. Always been independent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, let's see. You're 34?
Dude, no.
5? 7?
No. I actually turned 33 next month on the 3rd of June.
Oh, wow. Why
Actually,
did I think you were older?
People could like defraud me and shit.
Dude, you're a child. I'm just kidding, man. Oh man, Alex Payne is in the house. What's up, Alex? So okay. So you did the credit card thing. What'd you do after that?
What did I do after that? Oh my god, this is a long time ago. After that.
Well, how old were you when you did the credit card thing?
Dude, I was like 18 years old.
Okay. Did you make good money?
Yeah, man, back then I was making £500-600 a week, which is what most people doing jobs don't even earn now.
Yeah.
A couple of grand a month. After that, what did I do? Oh yeah, so my grandmother, my dad's mom, was the distributor in the town that I'm from for Kirby vacuum cleaners. You guys know what that is over in America.
Yeah.
Kirby salespeople are like the best salespeople in the world. The ones that are good,
True.
The ones that are no good are just fucking no good. So I kept asking my dad, can I work there? Can I work there? Let me sell some stuff. And he kept telling me, no, it's too hard for you. And I thought, screw that. So he gave me a chance one day. And back then, you used to have to knock doors to get your own leads and then book appointments. They sold me. Laura's got Kirby.
Yeah.
Hey, Laura. Yeah, so the first thing I was told was just to go out and knock doors for 3 days. I did that. I said, right, done. What next? And then I had to get all the leads, call them and book the appointments, which I did. My first ever appointment that I went on, the situation was like nothing like what I'd been trained for. I was left in the room with the people's kid, and he was like, what's this? And I told him it was some Transformers. I said, this is Megatron, man. The kid got that excited. He brought his parents in the room. They saw the machine, did what I was told to do, closed the deal, dude. I was like blown away. I thought I did something illegal.
Wow. So you closed it. How much did you make on that?
I made like £500 in like 1 day.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, like, all I need to do is this, like, a couple of times a day. I then went on to be the best salesperson, not in the UK, but in the world, in the month of March 2010. That's like 8 years ago now.
You were the number one salesperson in the world for Kirby.
Yeah, dude, in the world.
Wow.
Told you Americans to beep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in the world. And then instead of being a salesperson, because nobody wants to do that forever, that gets boring, I'd interview people, recruit people, and train them. And then I decided it was time to move on and do something for myself. So I set up my own sales training company where I would train salespeople, startup companies. Not really. I mean, there's so many people doing that now, and they're all saying the same stupid stuff that doesn't really help people. Right. So it wasn't like coaching; it was more just training people how to sell and how to close deals. Right. I've had a few people wanting me to coach them, and I've just said no, I don't do that.
Right.
I'm only young; I haven't lived enough for that yet. They could come to me and say, "Oh, I'm getting grey hairs. What do I do?" I'm like, "I don't know. You have to ask Ken."
Yeah, right. So I don't have any gray hairs yet, knock on wood, but I don't. I have like one that I get over here once in a while, but yeah, man, it's crazy. So you started doing like the sales training stuff. Did you do? What's up, Richard Trevino? So you did. You did this for not just Kirby companies then.
No, not for Kirby at all. This was just for. I did a lot in the automotive industry, like car salespeople, stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Just normal companies. I mean, how I got business. I just used to cold call, man. I just used to call people, call companies, ask for the training manager. They used to think that I was calling because I was complaining about something. So I'd send them an email and say, "I need to speak to your group training manager, please. It's urgent." And they'd call me like straight away or the next day. So I'd get them directly on the phone, and then I'd just say, "Hey, what are you doing for training?" They'd say, "We have it all internal. We don't have a budget for it." Blah 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 blah, all the usual stuff. So I just said to them, "Look, I'm a new company, but not old to the business or to the industry. Just give me a chance. I'll come and train you people for an hour. They'll be hooked." I did that lots, and they kept asking me back, obviously, and paid me.
Yeah.
But I was willing to give away that hour for free.
Wow.
And it wasn't just time I was giving away; it was travel. Dude, I had to buy like a suit that cost like loads of money.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah. Hey, move over a little to your right. There you go. You keep swiveling out of the frame a little bit.
My chest.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I had to buy a fake Rolex just to make it look like I'd made it.
Dude, are you serious?
Just gotta do what you have to do, man. Fake it till you make it.
Wow. Wow. So you did. And Richard said, "Is this the David you always tell me about?" Yes, this is David Pariera. So you did that, and I'm sure you did it successfully, because we've had some very in-depth conversations about sales and business. And dude, you're a badass, and I mean that. Like sometimes I'm like, dude, there's no way that you're only 19. No, but I mean, and I was talking to another friend of mine it was Tim. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were talking about college, and we were talking about this and that. I didn't go to college, but I've knocked on literally thousands of doors residentially and businesses, and I think that every kid in the world should go out door to door for at least 1 year.
Yeah, I would say so. Maybe not in the times we're living in now, because there's too many strange people out there where they could knock on the door and just get dragged in and never come back out.
Yeah. I don't mean like little kids. I'm talking, 18, 19-year-old kids should go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have the same kind of view. I do think that universities, colleges, and schools are missing one very important course, which should be labeled life.
Yeah.
Because they taught everything in theory, and the thing is, shit doesn't go the same way in theory as it does in real life.
No.
Like, they have no idea when they go out into the world. They have no idea about pressures of having to pay bills,
Right.
having to do certain things that you can't just. Loads of people have got this idea where if they set a website up, they're in business. Well, nobody's going to visit your website if they don't know it exists, man.
Right.
So yeah, I think you're right. They need to go knocking door to door to understand that you have to go and get the money. Not wait for the money to come in.
Well, that and I mean it teaches. I think it teaches. Cold calling on any level teaches you invaluable communication skills as well. So. I think that it's like you said, learning rejection, like learning what rejection is, in the mall trying to get people to sign up for your goofy credit card.
Yeah. It's true, man. It's true. But I tell you what that did for me, though. It made me close quick. So I closed really, really quick because I knew I had to. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I did a bit of a few years trying to sell into the corporate world. And I quickly realized that corporate is different because you don't have the decision maker. You probably don't ever get to the decision maker.
Right.
Everything's done via email, so you cannot sell or close via email. It's impossible. And it's all down to money.
Right.
Which it's wrong, and it's just too drawn out. So it's just I like somebody to be in front of me and for me just to close them. I'll close anyone like that.
I'm with you, man. I'm not used to any kind of dragging out a decision. Like, make the decision, man. Let's roll.
Yep.
Let's do this. I mean, you know, and so what are, like, I guess from a sales perspective, I know you like to read. What are some of the books or the people that have, you know, where did you learn? I mean, I don't think people are just naturally born, like, you know, come into the world like as a salesperson. I believe that you have to fine tune. You may have the gift of gab, but you have to fine tune those skills somehow. So what are some of the influences in your career?
Dude, to be honest, myself. I know it sounds dumb, but if you think about it, we're all born knowing how to sell. You watch a kid try and get sweets or an ice cream. Dude, they just keep asking for the order, man, until they get it.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned. So with the credit card thing, the only difference between me and everybody else that was, because there were about 3 of us on the stand.
Right.
And, you know, within the first hour I'd be on like 8 deals, and everybody else would be like, oh, it's slow, blah, 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 blah. And the only difference was every single person that walked past, whether they had 1 leg, 2 heads, ugly, nice or not, I would just pitch them, man. And I think that kind of made me understand that the only way to sell anything is just to ask everybody.
Right.
Just ask everybody and you'll be fine. In terms of anybody else having an influence on me for me learning my sales ability, there's things that I've heard and people that I've seen sell stuff that I've definitely picked up things from.
Right.
Whether that's helped me sell or close, I don't know, because I kind of been good at it from a young age anyway.
You never read Zig Ziglar's books or How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, any of that?
Dude, to be honest, no. I know what they are, and I've heard bits from them, but
okay.
I think those 2 books that you just mentioned, I could probably bet money on it that they both say the same thing.
Maybe to a degree. There's certain things for sure.
Yeah, because there's probably lots of people out there that teach you how to cook. Like, you could either read Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver, or some other person, I don't know. And, like, it's just a different way to cook the food, but, you know, eventually what you're going to get, something that you eat, and it all comes out the same brown, sticky stuff, right?
Oh, God.
Which we all do anyway, man.
Right.
So, I think maybe there's a different book or a different trainer for each different person out there. There's no right or wrong way to do it in terms of selling that thing. You just got to figure out your own way. Obviously, there's a wrong way, and that's by not actually doing any work.
Right. There's plenty of people that take that route. But
dude, let me give you an example. If you said to me, you had a product and you wanted, like this, I don't know, this chocolate bar right here, best product in the world. It's a really great product. And if I employed somebody that couldn't speak, couldn't hear, and was in a wheelchair, but I told them, look, I want you to just go and give this to 1,000 people next week, but each person that takes a bite out of them, I want you to call me. dude, I'd sell you some chocolate because it's just a numbers game, isn't it?
Right. Yep.
And that person that can't speak or anything, they haven't got any ability to sell it.
Right.
As long as the product's good, just show it to everybody and you'll sell some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, right? So, I mean, and it's true though. I mean, if you, it's numbers. If you play the numbers, you call on enough people, you know, I mean, unless you're selling poison or something, but like, you're right. If it's a good product and you call on enough people, you'll get deals.
Yeah, of course. And the main thing is with that, I mean, that theory works if you know how to work it, because some people cannot handle rejection. So what happens is they get no, 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 no. And then when they get a yes, they're like, are you sure? Like, for real?
Yeah. Right.
Like, that's just dumb. Like, just tell yourself, like, figure it out. For every 10, every no is closer to a yes. So every time somebody says no, dude, give them a hug, tell them thanks, it's the best thing you've ever heard.
Right.
And they'll be like, ah.
Right.
When you do get it. Good.
So what do you, like, I know, don't you have a sales team now, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I do a few different things at the minute. So I part own a barber shop. I can't cut hair. I just part own it. I'm just in the process of opening a fresh blend protein smoothie bar.
Okay.
Where it's like a fast food alternative. I just had some of the equipment delivered today. I've got work people downstairs putting it all together. That's cost me a fair bit of money. But you know, I know I'll get it back. But it's a completely different industry I'm going into. I just kind of figured that you have to have your fingers in lots of pies.
Right.
I like in pies, bro. So
right.
Keep just do different things. And then I have another company where I accidentally met somebody who manufactures and imports dry vapor steam cleaners from Italy. Because I already knew how the Kirby model worked, I just did that with those.
Right.
So I've got the salespeople that go out and sell them. I just close the deals. So I've got revenue coming in from all over the place. But my end goal, well, not end goal, but my ultimate goal in the next 3 years is to start property development. So I'll start buying some property, developing, selling some for a profit, keeping some, renting them out, and that eventually will be my full-time thing, just property.
Wow, nice. That's where the money is.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way I see it, I've had nice cars. I still have nice cars.
What do you drive?
At the minute, I've got 5 Series and a BMW M2.
Nice.
Well, I've had 3 M4. I've had everything.
Yeah.
But I've kind of figured out now that I don't want to be. I mean, I'll tell you, I'll be upfront with you. Like it's on a lease purchase.
Yeah.
Where you pay deposit and pay per month. I don't want to do that I don't want to be the guy that does that. Like, yeah, it's good because it allows you to live a lifestyle that you can't really afford yet, or it's just convenient.
Yeah.
Some people say it's smart because you're not shelling your own money out on something that depreciates.
Right.
But at the same time, if you add up all of your payments and everything, it works out the same as the depreciation. So there is no right or wrong way of doing it.
Yeah.
But if you're smart, you can buy a vehicle that probably will appreciate, something nice. So I want to buy a piece of land, build 4 houses on it, sell 3 of them, and it pays for my one.
Right.
I don't want a mortgage. I don't want any. I've kind of figured out that having no overheads is probably better than having lots of overheads and lots of income.
I agree with that.
When you've got too many overheads, but your income's high, what you've done is you've made it so you have to make X amount of pounds or dollars before you can even buy groceries, man. And that's stress. And for me, stress affects your quality of life.
Sure does.
And dude, you only get to live once, so it's kind of best for you just to just live chilled, man. No overheads.
Yeah.
And go and enjoy your money.
Right. So, interesting fact about you. Hey, Jim Estes, how you doing, man? So, interesting fact about David that I'm aware of is that BMW, like they send you free stuff, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I was one of the first people in the UK to have the new M3, which isn't new now, and I put it up on my Instagram, and then like I just gained a bunch of followers over the period of a few months.
Like 50,000, right?
Something like that. I don't really use it much now. I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
They sponsored me and gave me a load of free stuff, and I get cost price deals on cars, so I don't pay full up and all sorts of stuff. But I tell you what, that shows the power of social media, man.
It
If you have organic, I mean, people pay a load of money for Facebook ads, but how do you know it's going to the right people?
Right.
You know? Whereas my Instagram is kind of targeted, organic, so that's why they gave me free stuff.
Right.
They've made a lot of money on the back end of it.
Sandy McNichol said, "How long sell credit card processing?" Sandy, I'm not sure I understand your question. I'm not sure I understand that. If you want to,
How long sell credit card processing? Dude, that sounds like is that what language is that? Vulcan, like Star Trek.
Dude, Sandy's awesome. She's trying to ask something. I think I don't know. It didn't. I'm not reading it right, but so like you're doing a lot of things now.
Yeah.
And I know you've got a couple of beautiful cars. The M2 is a like it's a pretty special car, right?
Yeah, I mean the one I have got every single optional extra and then some on it. So
Is that a 4-cylinder with a turbo?
dude, it's not as fast as your car. Now I'm supposed to be taking it on around a racing circuit next week.
Oh wow!
Yeah, dude, I'm a good driver, bro.
Wow,
Drive insane.
that's awesome, dude. So, you know, and anybody, if anybody has any questions on Facebook Live here, hey, make sure you ask them. We'll ask David whatever you want. Oh, how long did you sell credit card processing?
I did that for about 2 years.
Was it credit card processing you sold, or just credit cards?
Credit cards.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, for example, I'd stop you in the supermarket and I'd just, like, pitch you on a credit card.
Right.
You had no intention of getting one, or, you know.
Right.
It's kind of a really difficult, it was difficult at first because I used to think, shit, what if somebody's got really bad credit?
Right.
Like, isn't that an embarrassing thing for them to have to say? But I kind of figured out who the bad credit people were.
Right.
They were the ones that always would just say yes.
Yeah.
Like, immediately they'd be like, yep, sign me up. And I'd be like, yep, they've got bad credit. And 9 times out of 10 they were.
Yeah.
So dude, like, even though I was doing like 25 to 30 a day, I'd probably sign up in excess of 45 people. But, you know, probably about 10 to 15 a day would just fail.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's a lot of hustling right there, man. To sign up.
It is. It was a full day. It was a whole day thing. So it'll be from like 8 o'clock in the morning till like 8 o'clock at night, and you're just on TV, just getting it done.
Wow. Well, you know, sales is where it's at. Definitely. You know, if you get a nice commission from whatever you're selling, or if you're the owner of the company, that certainly doesn't hurt matters at all. But so, you know, look, I see people, and I kind of want to get your take on this. You know, I see people. I mean, we see people all over the place that you know make mistakes in life. You know, you see them like they're going really, really well. Things are going well for them, and then you see them start doing stupid things. You know, in your opinion, what do you think the number one thing is that people do that stop them from succeeding in life? I mean, dude, and you know, we've talked about like numbers, money, you know, what you've made in life, and dude, you're 32 and you've made some crazy money. So like, what do you think what stops most people from success, in your opinion?
People.
Huh?
People stop people, bro.
What do you mean?
Other people. Other people will stop you from your success. Fact, I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's in your mind," but what you got to understand is, you imagine you take a newborn baby straight out of the womb, cut that cord, I don't know, do like a breastfeeding glory hole. That's the only way I can describe it, so they can get their milk or whatever. I don't know. But they're not exposed to the outside world. They don't know anything about humanity or anything. Dude, they can't have a mind, can they? They have no imagination because they don't know what to imagine. So what's in your mind is basically what we see on television, what we hear on the radio, what we hear from other people. So if you've got something holding you back and it's in your own mind, it only came from other people. It's impossible for it to have come from yourself. It's something that you heard, something that somebody told you, and it could just put like a mental block. So somebody could be like, "Oh, you'll never make it," or blah, 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 blah. It could have been when you were like 3 years old, and it might just be in your head like at the age of 30, and it could stop you. I think the other thing that stops people from succeeding is this for people who haven't succeeded yet, or people who may have succeeded.
It could be anyone. It could be people that have succeeded that are taking a left turn at Albuquerque now, or and they're going down the wrong path. Just what stops? Like if you had a guy sitting in your office for an interview for a sales position, and he said, "Dude, I've been working my ass off forever trying to really make it, and I just." What do you think most people are doing that messes them up from getting that guala?
Well, I mean, if you're a capable person, it's as simple as you haven't found the right product yet.
Right.
You're not with the right company, or maybe you can't find success because the only way to actually get it is through your own thing, rather than doing it for somebody else. Because if you're working for a company, you're only as successful as that company is or that company's product. And if that company one day decides they want to do things different, or you're kind of screwed, man.
Right.
Like, you've got to just be in control of your own thing.
Right.
The only thing that people will probably struggle with if they're not used to it is setting boundaries. Like, I'm probably one of those people. Like, if I don't set myself tasks to do for the day and say, okay, well, this has to be done by 1 p.m., blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'll just end up just like watching car stuff on YouTube, doing nothing.
Right.
Like, just doing nothing. And then the night time comes and I'm like, oh, I've got loads of stuff to do, but then I can't do it because everybody else is asleep.
Yeah.
So really, you have to set your boundaries. I mean, I'm no scientist, but I always feel better when I'm being productive.
Yep.
So if I haven't done anything productive for the day, I feel like I'm just failing.
Yep.
If I've done something that's productive, I kind of feel I've done something.
Yeah.
So just do something productive every day and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Move forward. Go.
And choose the right product.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I see all the time the amount of people that will message me and tell me, "Oh, I need some of your time. I've just started with a new company, blah 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 blah. And I just think, yeah, you've joined the MLM."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks later, they're giving me the same bullshit, and it's just a different MLM. They'd go from product to product to product, and because when they go to these meetings, they're shown these big checks.
Yeah.
They think they're going to be an overnight millionaire. Dude, that doesn't happen, man. Like, it doesn't happen. Even the people that you see that are millionaires are not overnight millionaires.
No. It takes severe commitment. Exactly. I mean, not giving up no matter what. And again, there was an MLM that I joined a long time ago called Web.
Yeah, you're one of the people now, man.
Yeah. No, it's called Web TV. Excuse me. And I did it. I made some great money, but then the company started changing all this stuff, and then like it got insane. So like I was like, this isn't gonna work, man. Like now it's costing me money to be a part of this, and so you got to know, as the old song goes, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, man. You got to be able to walk away.
Of course, man. Like an MLM, unless you're one of the dudes that got in with the dude that started the MLM, you're not going to make jack, because like how I was saying, that sales is a numbers game, bro.
I know, but I know people that get into MLMs late that have made ridiculously good money. But I think that it's the and I'm not disagreeing. Well, I kind of am. Disagree.
If you think about it, sales is a numbers game.
It is.
All MLM is a big numbers thing. So you join MLM, you're just increasing their numbers. And if you've got 1 million people that sell one product each, that's 1 million things sold. Right. Whereas a normal company, to sell 1 million, they need to spend millions on marketing and all that stuff. Like, an MLM is really a very cost-effective and cheap way of selling lots of products.
But here's the thing. Let's say that some guy over here in America came and knocked on my door and tried to sell me a Kirby. Spent 2 hours vacuuming my pillows, and then I finally, I'm like, look, dude, I'm not buying. Get out. Could you come and sell me a Kirby?
Yeah, because that dude's an idiot.
Could you? You sure?
Well, I could, because I'm different. I wouldn't spend 2 hours vacuuming your pillow and then ask you to buy. Dude, I'd ask you to buy when I shake your hand.
Right.
Hi, Ken. My name's David. I'm here to show you the best thing in the world. If you like it, will you buy one off me today?
Right.
It only costs £1 a day. And I'm nodding and you're nodding, and I'll find out real quick.
But I'm just saying, if some weak salesperson came in and tried to sell me something and I didn't buy... And I had a Kirby guy one time. It was at my brother's house. I was over there looking for him. This Kirby kid shows up, tries to sell my sister-in-law. My brother's not there, so she's like, do you mind staying? Don't leave. And I said, yeah. And this dude, I ended up having to threaten to beat this dude's ass. I'm like, dude, get out. And he's like, no, well, and I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, get your stuff and get out, or I'm gonna carry your little get out of here. So
those type of people are scared of asking for the order.
But my point is if a weak salesperson tried to sell me and I didn't buy, and you being a strong, you were number one in the world, right? So if you were the number one Kirby salesperson in the world, some weak dude couldn't sell me, and then you show up, would you be able to sell me?
More than likely, yeah.
Right. Well, what's the difference? The difference is skill level.
Yeah, I understand that, but then at the same time, that one sale isn't going to make a difference to the Kirby company on a whole, because they've got thousands of those weak idiots out there that will just hit on a yes.
I get that, but if all those weak idiots were to skill up, it could be better. All I'm saying is
I tell you, the thing about finding a good salesperson is, there's no such thing as a great salesperson that's out of work, because if they're out of work, they're not a good salesperson, man.
That's right.
So they're kind of like, they are where they are.
Yeah.
And you try training a great salesperson, dude, they ain't gonna listen to all that. They know it all, and you could tell somebody who's doing well, go on this training course, it will make you better, and then all of a sudden they're not selling the same.
Right.
If somebody's doing well, leave them the hell alone. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yep. I totally agree with that. Just get out of their way. And that's a huge mistake I think people make, is they go, look, I got to be in control, whether it's the best salesperson I've ever had or it's the worst salesperson I've ever had. I got to be in control of what they're doing, and then you literally squash their.
I mean, if you were to put a sales ad in now to recruit people, and you had 10 people come through, well, you give them the basic training,
right?
The basic training, and then just throw them in the deep end,
right?
Dude, it's simple swim. The people that are getting you results don't train them anymore. Just let them keep going. If they're getting results, they're making money. They will figure out how to get results faster and to get more results. The people that don't get you any results, training's not going to help.
Well,
It really isn't.
I still think that, but Michael Jordan trained every single day until he retired. So the greats always train. I'm one of the best salespeople in the world, and I literally read sales books. I'm always trying to up my game some way. And
Dude, 1 second. I'm going to be rude. 1 second. Business person. 1 second. Hello. Hello. Who's that? Oh, is that you? Oh, yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm just on alright, 2 seconds. Dude, keep talking for 2 seconds. I just need to let the electrician in.
Okay, go ahead.
Just keep talking some stuff,
Wow.
bro.
Okay. Wow. So that's never happened on my show before. Just have somebody take off like that. No, he's running to let somebody in. Whoops. Sorry. Can you guys hear me okay? Anyway, we're almost at the end of this. We're almost at the end of this anyway. So, just wanted to, Sandy, I know it's kind of crazy. This isn't an interview about me. But what we were talking about is what stops people from succeeding in life and especially in sales. And I agree to a degree that you don't want to try to overtrain your greats. Let them train and do things at their pace. But I do believe you also have to have some accountability. So I believe in training. I believe in always doing things to up my game, to make my game stronger. So I don't know. And it looks like we are down to like nobody hardly at all on here. Who's still on here? Sandy, you're on here, right? Oh, great. The electrician must have kidnapped him. He's not back. Didn't he say 2 seconds? Well,
I'm back.
There he is. There he is. I was getting ready.
See, that's what I mean, man. Every day is just different. You couldn't train me for that scenario.
Right,
Dude, I'm out.
Right. So, we only have a handful of people on here still, but there he's back. There he is. So, anyway, so what? I guess really, we know what's holding people back. Hey, Sandy Lewis, Sandy Lewis and Sandy McNichols, they're still on here. So, what's next for you, man?
Like I said, my main goal is to get into property development.
Yeah.
Because that's where the big money is, man.
Yep.
Like, you can make hundreds of thousands on one deal.
Yeah.
I think that's how you can make millions.
How Grant Cardone's made a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, yeah, I mean, one thing I always tell people, like, I have loads of people that come to me and they say, Dave, I want to start a business, and they tell you they're going to be a millionaire, and then when you ask them, what's your business? And they're like, oh, we're going to be selling cookies or something stupid like that. And then you go, well, that's not scalable. So, I mean, I recognize that the business that I'm in isn't scalable to millions. But sometimes it's not about how much money you can make and keep. It's about how much money you can keep flipping.
Right.
Keep your accounts looking healthy for the bank to then lend you money.
Right.
So it's about how much money you can borrow.
Sure.
If you were to ask all of the really wealthy people out there how they, I don't know, bought this building to flip it and make the money, I'm pretty sure they'll tell you it was the bank's money, bro. But if you didn't have a healthy, reasonable sized business in the first place,
right,
you wouldn't be able to get that money. No one has millions and millions liquid money to invest. Well, they do, but they probably started out with the bank's money.
Yeah,
So,
it almost always starts with somebody else's money. But that's what it's about. It's like Grant Cardone's shirt saying, "Who's got my money?" Right? Like like, you got to learn again, it comes down to sales. It all comes down to selling. So,
everything's selling. When you're in the doctor's chair and the doctor's telling you you've got this wrong with you or that wrong with you,
yeah,
that's them. That's the sales pitch. And then, I'm going to write you this prescription, dude. They're writing up the order, and then when they're closing you down, and then when you go and buy the stuff they prescribe, dude, they're making money. They're just selling to you all day, every day.
Right.
When really, you don't even need that stuff. Everything is about money, bro. Like war, the whole lot. It's money. But then people are scared of the word sales. Oh no, I don't want to be in a sales job. I'm not being funny, but if you go and take a job that's not a sales job in your eyes, if you were to break it down, I'm pretty sure it's a sales job.
Yep. I mean, if you look at the, Sandy McNichol said, life is a sale. LOL, but true. Like, dude, if you look at...
Well, think about it. Like, your dad had to close the deal with your mom for you to even get a room.
True. It's true.
Well, I don't know. Some people just...
But I mean, the thing. Here's the thing, man. With again, it comes down to you've got to learn how to sell, and once you learn how to sell, I mean, I had a friend of mine call me this morning. That's a state senator here in Ohio. He's running for Congress, and today's election day, and calls me this morning asking for advice on what to do with social media and going live and stuff like that. And so, I hung up and I'm like, dude, like if it weren't for my ability to effectively communicate and sell to others, I wouldn't even know that guy. Like, I wouldn't even know him. And here he is now calling, asking for my advice, which blows me. And he's running for United States Congress. So it's insane to me. So anyway, hey.
So sometimes it doesn't matter what position you're in, or you don't know how they got there. They could have just got lucky. Sometimes you know a guy who knows a guy.
Right.
And then with the true ability just doesn't ever get to be exposed to the world.
Right.
They just die being great, but nobody ever knew.
That's right.
There's got to be somebody out there smarter than Steve Jobs that has a better alternative to the iPhone, but nobody wants to listen to them. You don't know. And that's probably because they don't know how to sell it, but they can make it.
Right.
So it's true, you need to be a salesperson, but there could be multi-billionaires out there that probably don't know how to sell, but what they did is they probably had to hire salespeople.
Right. So let me ask you this.
You have to hire me to sell your... No, I'm joking.
What?
I was going to say, you have to hire me to sell your stuff.
Yeah, right. So let me ask you this. What do you, if you were to, and this, we're going to wrap this up, but if you were to give somebody struggling, struggling financially, struggling in life, just struggling to find their way, what is the one, if you could give them one piece of advice, what's the one piece of advice you would give somebody that's in the middle of a bunch of shit struggling right now?
Stop doing whatever it is that you're doing on a daily basis, because that's clearly causing the problem. In other words, if you're struggling financially, don't go to work tomorrow, because that's obviously what's causing you to struggle. Do something else. If you're struggling with losing weight, dude, stop eating cheeseburgers every day, because that's obviously what you're doing. Just if you're living your life and things are not going right for you, the only one piece of advice that you should follow is stop doing whatever it is you're doing. Dude, I went through a rough patch where I thought I was struggling, when really all I had to do was just stop doing what it was that I was doing, because it wasn't the thing I was doing. Right.
So you had to change.
Well, yeah. Instead of when you say, "Oh, I'm struggling," or things aren't going right for me, and somebody says to you, "Oh, you need to start doing this," or "You need to start doing that."
Right.
That's dumb advice. If things aren't going right, surely the obvious thing to do is to stop doing what you're doing.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's like, "Oh, I keep putting my finger in the fire and it's getting burnt." Well, stop putting your finger in, idiot. Whereas some other smart idiot might be like, "Well, wear some gloves." Well, no, because how do you know the gloves are going to protect you? Or, sooner or later the glove's going to get burnt.
Or what's the payoff of putting your finger in the damn fire? Is there a payoff? Like,
Dude,
right?
Don't put your finger in the fire. Put your finger in the pie. Lots of pie.
Like, go out and do something different. So if you're making $2,000 a month and you can't pay your bills and you're struggling, well, you got to find a different vehicle. If that's not.
But you got to do it like that.
Right.
Like, just fucking walk out.
Right.
Just walk out and do something else, like, immediately, because the only time that you're gonna make it happen is sink or swim. You have loads of people that stay in their job and they say, "Oh, I'm unhappy in my job. I'm gonna find a new one." 3 years later, they're still unhappy in their job, trying to find a new one.
Right.
It's because they still got the convenience of that job that they hate. Just leave. Just walk out. Throw the friggin' stapler at your boss. Make sure it gets to so you get fired.
No, don't
You're gonna
do that.
just walk out.
Don't encourage violence. That's an arrestable offense. So like, don't get arrested. Don't get arrested. Just walk out. Just change.
Walk out.
Like it's the same. You got to change. You just got to change your environment. You got to change what you're doing. I agree with you, 1,000%.
Just walk out. It's the only way.
I agree, dude. I completely agree with you. It's the only way. So, dude.
What's that?
What else?
I don't think so. I'll have a look. Normal audible Vidant one. Can you not steal one out downstairs?
Well, we're going to wrap this up now.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
So David can run his business not on a live stream. So,
we're getting it real, man.
I know, it's real, dude. It's real. So, listen, appreciate you being on, bro. I know you're busy, and I thank you for taking the time. You're a smart dude. If you're not following David, he doesn't really use Facebook, but you can follow him on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
It's a bit weird. Baby M car.
Baby M car. It's not weird. I get it. So, hey, bro, thank you, man. You rock.
Man, hopefully I'll be on again in a shirt and tie.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, brother. Hey, man, have an awesome day. Thank you to everybody who's been on, and appreciate you sharing your wisdom with my...
Hey, Sandy, slide in the DM. I'm only joking.
See you later, dude. Thanks.
Oh, bye-bye.